Hello, it's Sonia here with a Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today is Tuesday, and that means it's Tunisian Tuesday, where we feature a Tunisian stitch pattern or technique or a project. So today we're going to be doing a stitch pattern, and I'm going to be using my eye hook or 5.5mm hook, and as you can see, I just have a rubber band on the end. So when featuring Tunisian stitch patterns, I try to just use a regular straight crochet hook because not everybody has a Tunisian hook. And if you want to learn or just practice some stitches, then you don't need to go out and purchase a Tunisian hook. Okay, so we are going to be using just number 4 or worsted weight yarn. I've already worked my chain. So to do this particular stitch pattern, you will need to chain a multiple of 3 and then you will add 2. So I went ahead and I chained 17 because 3 times 5 is 15 and you add 2 and it's 17. Okay, so row 1 is our setup row in the second chain from our hook. I like to work in the back bump of my chain. I am going to pull up loops. Now you don't have to work in the back bump, that's just my preferred method. And if you've never done Tunisian crochet before, I do have a playlist that goes over the basics plus other stitch pattern tutorials and projects as well. So I'll place that link in the description box if you want to check that out. So Tunisian crochet is always worked in 2 parts. Each row is worked in 2 parts. So we are doing row 1. So the first part of row 1, called the forward pass, we are putting our stitches on our hook. And then the second part of row 1 will be called the return pass, where we will take the stitches off our hook and each part equals 1 row. Okay, so I have my loops on my hook, and the amount that I chained will be the amount that is on my hook. So I have 17 loops because I chained 17. So let's work the second part of row 1. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1 loop, and yarn over and pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so there we go. There is row 1. Okay, so this stitch pattern is just 1 repeat, which is really nice. You don't have to memorize a bunch of repeats. It's just 1. So row 2 will be the repeat for the rest of the stitch pattern for however long you want to make your swatch. So what we're going to do is we're working in Tunisian simple stitch, and we're going to insert our hook in these first 3 vertical bars. So 1, 2, 3. So it's like a big together or decrease stitch, and we're going to yarn over and pull up our loop. Now we are going to chain 1, and right in the middle of that chain, so you can kind of see, so let me show you a little better with my handy double pointed needle. So right here in the center of that chain, we're going to insert our hook and pull up a loop, and now we're going to yarn over. So we've just put our stitches back on our hook because we did a decrease, and we still want to have 17 loops, or if you chained a different number at the end of our row. So whatever you started with, you will still want to have the same amount for the end of row 2. Okay, we're just going to repeat what we did. So we're going to insert our hook in those next 3 vertical bars in Tunisian simple stitch, and that is in the playlist if you're not familiar what Tunisian simple stitch is. And there's also Tunisian purl and Tunisian knit stitch. So if you can do all 3 of those, you should be able to make just about whatever you want in Tunisian crochet. Alright, so let's chain 1. Okay, back in that chain, we're going to pull up a loop and yarn over, and we're going to keep going. And we're going to do our final yarn over. So in this stitch here in the end, it looks like a chain. we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop. So we should still have 17 loops on our hook. And you can always count just to make sure if you're not sure if you missed a yarn over. I mean, it's easy to do that. All right, so let's work the return pass. We're going to yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2 for the rest of the row. Okay, so there we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to repeat row 2. So I will show you row 3 because it does look a little bit different than when we worked in row 1 because we have yarn overs now. So yarn overs can be a little tricky to find. So we're still repeating row 3. So you're going to insert your hook in the first 3 vertical bars. So the first 2 are really easy to find. So here's the first one, second one. So there, let me get my double point. So here is that yarn over right here. It kind of slants a little bit, so you can see it's a little bit slanted. So you're going to insert your hook in that slanted bar, and now we yarn over, pull through all 3, and then we chain 1, go back in that center of that chain, pull up our loop, and yarn over. And we just repeat that across. So you just want to make sure that you don't miss that yarn over. You're still working in 3 loops. And the last yarn over can be really difficult to find. So if you're really struggling with finding your yarn overs, what you can do is you can take stitch markers and mark the yarn over. So here we have one right here. You can place a stitch marker in there just until you get familiar where those yarn overs are. I used to do that when I first started learning Tunisian crochet and yarning over. I would use stitch markers to help me out. I always consider stitch markers as like your friends when you're knitting or crocheting. They're handy, helpful tools so you can be successful. Okay, so let's work these last 3. So there we go. And so here is that last yarn over. It kind of blends in with this stitch, but it is right here. So you just want to make sure when you get to the end that you do not forget it. It's easy to miss. And then do the final yarn over, and then in that stitch that looks like a chain, insert your hook, pull up your loop. So we should still have 17. I'll do a quick count just to make sure. And I do indeed have 17, so we just work these loops off like normal. Yarn over, pull through 1, yarn over, pull through 2. So again, you're going to repeat row 2 for however long you want your swatch. And as you'll be able to see as you work a few more rows, that this is definitely more of a lacy Tunisian crochet stitch, which would be really nice in shawls, scarves, even if you wanted a lightweight blanket or even a pretty garment. I think it's a very pretty stitch. I was just playing around and the stitch was born. Maybe somebody's already come up with it. I don't know. I don't like to claim that I invented stitches because this craft has been around for a very long time. So I'm going to go work a few more rows and then I will meet you back. Okay, so here we go. Here is my swatch. I worked 10 rows and you can see that it's definitely a lacier stitch. And I just think it's really, really pretty. I just really like how this turned out. So to do the bind off, which is just finishing off your project or your swatch or whatever you're making so it looks its best in Tunisian crochet, we are just going to bind off in Tunisian simple all the way across. So in that first vertical bar, working this simple stitch. And if you're unfamiliar with binding off, again, I do go over that in the playlist. And we don't want to forget that last one that likes to hide, and then working on that stitch, it looks like a chain, and there we go. So as you can see, even though we did Tunisian simple stitch for this stitch pattern, it lays flat. Tunisian crochet is notorious for curling up unless you throw in some purl stitches, which we have not done, but this one lays nice and flat. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.